Is that right there? Oh, yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
What's good, bro? What's good?
What's up?
You hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Hey, open that window. That was fucking man. Oh, give me 1 second, tell my fan real quick. Sorry.
Nice, bro.
Okay, bro. What's happening, man?
Yeah. What's good, family? How you doing?
I can't complain, man. Can't complain. I mean, I take it back. Good, I can complain.
Great thing.
I just
It's
want.
crazy because we've been hearing your name.
It's a beautiful thing. What you been hearing?
We've been hearing your name a lot the last couple of weeks.
Been hearing the good places.
We've been hearing your name the last couple of weeks. We've been hearing very
good places.
and now you on here, man. It's definitely dope to have you. Me?
Good places and bad places.
Oh yeah, word. Oh yeah, no, hell yeah, real good places, bro. Hell yeah.
Okay, well that's positive.
Good places, good people.
That's right.
Huh?
That's right. I said that's positive.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. We usually like a brief intro, then we'll start the show. We backstage now. A brief intro, about 20 seconds, then we'll get right into the interview, man. So, all right, let's get it.
No problem.
Ready to rock out?
Yeah, bro.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. I'm your brother, old guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored. Sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's your man Sam and Byrd. Hip Hop News. We're in the building for various special editions. Hip Hop Podcast.
Yes, sir.
My man Coolio for the podcast. How you doing this evening, family?
All right, how you doing, man? It's good to talk to y'all. I thought, thought y'all didn't like me and shit. Y'all ain't never talked to me. I was like, these motherfuckers that never talked to me. I was like, what's up? Kind of like, niggas got a problem with me or something? No, but it's obviously not, because y'all talking to me now.
No way in the world. I don't know. I think number 11.
We had the right avenues. We had to figure out who to contact. Who's hitting up directly. You gotta go through, the people that represent them. So that's how we got you, man. So we appreciate it.
Well, man, you can get at me directly, man. That's how I did that a lot. Shit. My people handle my shit, but I handle my own shit too.
We'll trade each other's map right after this show. We can actually keep in contact.
Absolutely.
How you feeling out here, man? 2021 is in the building. We had crazy ass year. I don't know if you're 2021. So how you feeling? Everything's going on, bro?
Honestly and truly, I'm not. It's neither here nor there for me. I mean, everything's going as I expected it, as has been planned for years. I try to keep abreast of what's going on in the world, and I try to. I'm not gonna say predict anything, but this is all stuff that from everything I've been studying and reading for years. Shit is going just the way it's supposed to go. Actually, it's behind. They're behind schedule.
Man, so is that like a religious belief of yours?
No. It's reality. It's a realistic approach. Because with everything that all right. Let's just say the powers that be, or the world governments and the New World Order regime, shit is going the way it's supposed to go. Like I said, they're behind schedule.
So what are your thoughts on this vaccine? I'm seeing this get pumped out. We're hearing a bunch of stuff on social media, good and bad. What do you think about it?
Well, I don't know if it was Denmark or Norway. 29 people died. Same day they took it.
New world order, nigga.
So
Put me
I'm,
at the
so
top.
I'm,
Shake my hand.
I'm more
New world order,
inclined not
nigga.
to not take
Rearrange.
it. I mean, you know, it's been predicted that at least 90% of the world is gonna catch it. So I don't think that, I think it's unrealistic for people to think that they can take a vaccine to not catch a virus. I think it's an unrealistic approach to it, and I'm gonna take my chances. You know what I mean?
You think it's an attack, you know, on a certain demographic or a certain group of people, more so with this whole COVID situation, even the vaccine?
Absolutely. But it's more than that. It's an attack on humanity itself. It's an attack on everybody. Of course, you know, as usual, you know, black and brown people get the short end of the stick and we get it the worst, as usual. But it's, you know, it's designed to take everybody out. It's designed to kill off a bunch of people because you know, it's not reality. Okay, so hold on, let me show you something. I need a visual real quick. Let's say this is the planet, right? If this is the planet, then and this is all 8 billion of us. This little thing in my hand, I'm gonna put it right here. Can you see that? See that little white dot right there? So now, if this is the planet, and that's actually too big. For the amount of space and the amount of room that we have on the planet, we take up less than that much room. So all this shit about the planet being overpopulated is a lie. That's just a damn lie. That's just a damn lie. And they, you know, and the world governments know this. And people in the know, they know that it's a damn lie. I actually believe that if you take a look at some maps from the 17 and early 1800s, it's some land missing from the new maps. It's a whole big ass continent. There's some shit missing that they're not showing on the map that used to be there. So I'm more inclined to believe that they changed the maps. You know, I think that, you know, I don't know if you know this, but if you go out into the Antarctic Ocean, from everything I've studied, if you go, what is it, 50 miles?
From what?
50 miles into the Antarctic Ocean.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you go 50 miles into the Antarctic Ocean, boats, planes, helicopters and shit start coming from everywhere. And they tell you, turn around now or you will be destroyed. And this is a collective of the world governments. They kind of like, I guess they, NATO or whatever they might be. I don't know what the actual name is, but this has been documented. It's been documented. If you're familiar with Admiral Byrd, Admiral Byrd was sent by the U.S. government to map and explore the Antarctic region. He went there and he was in a plane. They built a special plane that could make long range flights. Had huge reserves of fuel, and he went in and started mapping and studying the Antarctic region. According to his writings, this came out of his own mouth, and which is supposedly straight from the horse's mouth. He said that he reached a certain point, and all of a sudden the plane, they lost control of the plane. Not that they lost control of the plane, they was getting ready to crash. Something else took control of the plane. So basically, the best way to describe it from his writings is that they were caught in some type of tractor beam. And this tractor beam took the plane and made it go where they wanted it to go. And according to his writings, they were taken to an unheard of continent, another place far out into the Antarctic Ocean. They were flying, and then all of a sudden they saw land where they're not supposed to be land, where there was undocumented land that was not on any map that he had ever seen. They landed the plane, and they were taken by these people. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he said they were at least 7, 8 feet tall. They were at least 7, 8 feet tall, and they took him to their leader, and he basically had a conversation with him. They fed him. It was him. I think it was him and two crew members, if I'm not mistaken. And they fed him and gave him something to drink or whatever. And then they proceeded to tell him that they were upset at humanity because around, during that time they were testing atomic bombs, and man had found out how to harness the energy of the atom, and they were upset about that because it was a direct. It was dangerous for the planet, and they feared that man would at some point destroy the planet, or they definitely had the ability to destroy everything. And they basically told him, take your ass back and tell your people, don't fucking come here no more. If you ever come here again, we're gonna take it as we're gonna take it as an act of war, and we will destroy you. Now, who was the president at that time?
I want to say
I'm asking my family because we
Lyndon?
both studied the same shit.
maybe Lyndon, I think. Maybe Lyndon, I think.
It might have been
Lyndon or
It
Roosevelt.
might have been Lyndon or Eisenhower. It was one of them presidents during that time of life. I'd have to look it up to be correct. But anyway, you can look it up for yourself. He came back and he told the president at that time what he saw and what happened.
Don't ever come back.
And he said we can't ever go back there and try to explore again or go and fuck with that region, because if we do, it's a wrap. And this shit is documented. This is documented. I'm gonna say white history. This is, of course,
What's that literature?
Go ahead.
What's the literature?
Just look up. Don't go on the internet and look up Admiral Byrd, Byrd.
This wouldn't have anything to do with the Middle Earth conversation too, right?
Um,
Stuff about that.
A little bit.
I'm sure that it probably all ties into it. I can't really say really much about the Middle Earth because nobody in modern written history has been able to, people say stuff, but nobody credible, I think, has given any information about that, and the information is sketchy, is what I'm saying. But Admiral Byrd was not a sketchy dude. He was respected and revered. So I'm more inclined to believe that what he said he saw, he actually saw. What the fuck? What reason would he have to come back and say some bullshit? Because he was in the military, and he was sent there to do a job, and supposedly he did it. And then all the other undocumented stories that you hear about the Antarctic, like that's where the World Seed Bank is. You ever heard that? Mm-hmm. The World Seed Bank is in somewhere in Antarctica, as well as supposedly some DNA from every creature on the planet. There's a DNA bank there where every creature, there's some DNA of every creature known to man at this time and maybe before. Some things that are probably extinct right now is kept there just in case. You know, we have to, you know, there's a major natural disaster and it wipes out 95% of humanity and the animal kingdom, and you know they could remake it or whatever. You know, motherfuckers with a lot of money. I mean, let's just say the elitists in the world, they don't want to die. So they've been they've been trying to figure out a way to become immortal since the beginning of being elite, since the beginning of whatever the word, you know, whatever the mind state of being elitist is. They've been trying to figure that shit out for forever, because they feel that because they control the wealth of the planet, they should control the people of the planet as well.
You know, that brings up a good point, because on a lighter note, we were talking about what's her name, Jackie McMullen in the NBA, talking about some basketball.
Right.
And they were talking to Kyrie Irving when he played for the Celtics, and they were like, you don't own me. And she was like, actually, yes, you do. We were having a conversation like, there's a difference between purchasing your rights to play for a certain team that you own and you owning somebody. And the words and the way they use things, very, very, it's funny how they like to kind of just put that stamp ownership on us. What do you think about that?
Well, you know, because of what we know and what we've been taught and learned, we know that there's people out there like that believe that they do have ownership of persons. So I mean, it's not unrealistic. It's not an unrealistic thing. I'm of the mind state that I believe every damn thing till you prove that it's not true. Let me tell you why. It's a reason behind this. So many things that I was taught my whole life. As I began to age, I found out that 75% of the shit I was taught was true was a lie, and 50% of the shit that I was taught was a lie is the truth. So I just try to keep ahead of the game, and so I don't get caught off guard. So if it's something that really concerns me or something I'm really interested in, then I'll go and try to do the necessary research to find out if it's true or not. But for the most part, shit, I believe, man, you can't put nothing past nobody or nothing, because shit, they finna start doing stem cell research in space now. They doing it there because it's easier, and you know, I mean, shit has changed so much since I was a young man, bro. How old are you guys in your mid-20s, late 20s?
Late 30s.
Late 30s, okay, so I'm 57 years old, bro. And about 10 years ago, I started studying certain information about who we are as a people and where history is at this point in time. And make a long story short, I found out that most of the shit that I learned in my life was a fucking lie. And a lot of the shit that I was taught that was true, thought was a lie, was the truth. And it fucked up my psyche, bro, because most of my life I fashioned myself as a pretty intelligent man and well-traveled, and you know, I knew some things, and I had a jump on most people. Like I felt like, and not on no I'm smarter than you shit type shit, but I felt like I knew enough to be able to teach. Okay, so because that's what it's all about, teaching. And then I found out so much things that I believed was not worth even talking about. And this is stuff that I was teaching my children and teaching other people's children and teaching my friends, telling them about information that I had that I thought I knew that made me a teacher. And then I found out that really I didn't know shit. And then the cool thing about it was this. So much of it was so obvious that it made me feel fucking stupid. It made me feel stupid. And I looked at it like this. Damn, if you were so fucking smart, how come you didn't see that shit? So it fucked me up. I had to step back and go relearn and go rehash some shit and basically do a life refresher course. Because as smart as I thought I was actually as dumb as I thought I was smart. So it fucked me up.
Now, I'm interested to know around what time this was because, I mean, obviously you got the idea of music career. You're one of the biggest hip hop acts in the world in the mid to early 90s, late 90s. Well, I guess you were in your 20s at that time. And
No, I wasn't. I was actually when I said I'm 23 now, when I lived to see 24, I was actually 29. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that
rhymed in the song, right? When he said that?
huh?
Because it rhymed in the song, that's what he
Yeah,
said.
it rhymed better. It fit the rhyme scheme better, and that's why. So it wasn't really that. I didn't deem it to be that important at that time. Yeah. So and it was after that. It was when I hit my 40s when I started picking up on more information and actually studying harder and being privy to more things and meeting more people who knew more than me, and then actually being able to see some actual copy documents and photograph documents from the National Archives. Most things that pertain to us, especially us as a people, most of those things you can find in the United States National Archives. It's all right there. You can find it in the United States National Archives, the Spanish Archives, and the English Archives, as well as the French Archives. It's a lot of information about us as a people and about who we are, where we were, and where we're going, that you can find out from these particular groups of people. And they teach us bullshit. Billions of dollars are spent. Billions of dollars are spent every year to keep us from knowing the truth about ourselves. And it's a fucking travesty. And it's not, I'm not gonna say it's a shame, because it's par for the course. You have to understand. If you're faced with the possibility of extinction, then by the rights of being human, and we're more animal than, I think we're more animal than man. We're actually very animalistic, and we're very what's the word I'm looking for? Predatorial. And basically what I'm saying is, if you was faced with the possibility of your whole extinction and race and your culture and your everything that you knew and might know being eradicated, then you would feel like you have all rights to do whatever was necessary to make sure that your people survive. And being that as a race of people, we are so powerful. That's why the American European white man became so afraid of us. They didn't do it just on a whim, they didn't do it just because they hated us because we was black. They did it because they were facing extinction, brother. If it were right now, even to this day, with all the shit that's been done to us, by 2050, 75% of the world is going to be brown and black, it's no way to stop that. There's no way to stop that. So now, you going back to the 1700s, 1600s, 1500s, 1800s, and you get this information. You're a white man. You get this information. Wow. If we don't do something, by 1970, we might not even be here as a people, or we would be so small of a group of people, we wouldn't have any bearing on anything in the world. Then you're gonna start saying, we gotta do something. So what they did was, instead of trying to scientifically increase their ability to breed, they decided to kill off their biggest, I don't want to say enemy, the thing that was blocking them. So, and that was us. That was us. I mean, I believe certain things, and I know everybody's not going to agree with me, but everything that I believe is based on what I consider to be truth, and not facts. Okay, you'll never hear me say facts like the young boys be doing, like, oh, that's facts. I'm gonna tell you why. It's a reason for that. Because I hear y'all say facts a lot too, so I know y'all be saying it. So facts can be debated. You can debate facts, but you cannot debate truth. Truth is undebatable. When something is true, it's fucking true, and that's it. When something is a fact, you can argue it. Because fact and truth is different. I mean, the definition of it in the dictionary is different, and the definition of it in the concept and aspect and the whole creation of life and what is and what is not. Facts are not necessarily truth. Facts is a collective of things that has been investigated so people believe it to be true.
His opinion.
But facts are basically opinions, and might be the opinion of a lot of people, but at the same time it's still opinion. But truth itself, you cannot debate truth, because what's true is true. So I'm saying that to say this. So when I say I believe something as my truth, then I'm saying it from a viewpoint of something that I've studied enough to be able to say it with conviction and be able to say, okay, I really believe this shit because of this and this and this and this.
Without a doubt. Now, to transition a little bit, that whole, those same people that are in the world, we understand that they have to have, a stranglehold over music. So, you've been in the industry a long time. How is it in the music industry, that whole conversation about the gatekeeper drill, the rituals, things people gotta do, blood sacrifice thing? I don't know if you got into all that, but you gotta go there. I'm in the belly of the music industry.
I've read about all of that, and I only can say my truth, and you would think that with the height of success that I had and the things I was able to do, the amount of records I sold, and actually the amount of, I don't want to say political power, but the amount of social power that I was able to achieve, you would think that I would be a prime candidate for so we could call it something, to be a member of the Illuminati or a member of the elite society or whatever. You would think that that they would come at me, and I think they did it sideways though. Nobody never got at me directly and said, we want you to join us and we're doing this. That's never happened. But I will tell you, I've had motherfuckers come at me on some weirdo shit, like on some gay shit. I've had motherfuckers come at me on some, oh, you should do this type shit. And I was like, what? Made me say, why the fuck would I do that? That don't make no sense. I view that as being inhuman. I view that as, I would never do that. So, and then, right when it was some things that I was trying to do that I felt were important, things that I felt would help other people, shit started happening to me. Went to jail for some bullshit. Got convicted. Well, not necessarily convicted, but because I didn't do no time, no real time, but little shit started happening, you know? And I didn't even address the shit really, because who the fuck? When you know, and when you're a celebrity, bro, when something happens, whether it's true or it's not true, once it's been said, for most people it's true. Because people don't do research to find out if something is true about a person or not. Whatever they hear, they deem it to be truth. So I didn't go hard on, oh, I didn't do that, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. That never happened. I just let the shit die down and continued on with my life. Also, I'm at a point right now in my life where there's a lot of shit I know that I want to tell people. There's a lot of things that I want to teach, but I'm afraid. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm scared because I got 4 grandchildren. And I got children that are in this world. I got people I care about. And I got people that I care about that don't necessarily believe what I believe. And I have no fear of death. And I think that those that would oppose my beliefs, they've probably done enough. If somebody's after me or if somebody's watching me, then they know enough about me to know that I have no fear of death. So killing me don't mean shit. It just confirms that what I said was true. But I do have a fear of them hurting my family. So I'm quiet about certain things. I don't talk about everything I know because I don't want nobody in my family to be hurt. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to happen to my people. And if I owe them anything, I owe that to them. I owe them their lives, to be able to live their life and not be subjected to any type of harm because of something I did or said. It's already happened once. You know, my oldest son did some time in prison, and he shouldn't have. It was his first offense. And I was going to court, and I seen people having cases that were way worse than his, and not even being their first offense, and them getting off. And they didn't have a better lawyer than he had. Some of them had fucking PDs, but they got off because nobody gave a fuck whether they got off or not. It didn't matter to the world now. But by them doing what they did to my son, it made me kind of shut the fuck up. I stopped talking about what I was talking about at that time because I felt like I was being, listen, I could be making this shit up in my head. It could be something. I realized that I would never know whether it's true or not. But just to make sure that it didn't happen again, I backed off. And now let me say, when I backed off, shit stopped happening. So I'm more inclined to believe that maybe I was right. You know, I mean, like I said, I can't say if it's true or not, but like I said, those things stopped happening to me. That kind of shit stopped happening to me. I stopped getting them weird messages. I stopped getting them weird emails. You know, I stopped having that feeling of being watched. You know what I mean? So I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, I often wonder why if people get on the internet and they say shit just for attention, or they make up shit so that people will want to listen to what they have to say. And I bet you in at least 70, 85%, 70 to 80% of the times, they're doing it to get some fucking attention. And then 10% of the time, people are telling the truth. You know, I've seen some crazy shit. I seen some crazy shit, bro. I seen some shit like, wow. I seen some shit that made me go, what the fuck? Is this really happening right now? You know.
Is it fair to say, Coolio, that your celebrity is the reason why your voice is changed?
Say it one more time.
You speaking out, you being the celebrity that you are, and you having the platform that you do, and your word obviously getting some access and speaking so much power. Is that the threat that comes to you, and is the threat that is to them? Like, because you're a celebrity, the reason why you feel as though you can't speak and your family's like potentially being injured. Is that the reason? So in itself, it's actually the curse.
At one point in my career, people was fucking really listening to me, and they were really taking to heart what I had to say. People believed in me. And when I started doing music, I did music. I made music because I wanted to be heard as a man. I felt like that what I had to say could help people, and it might be important because I had information, or I pay attention, and I might be able to help people. When I went platinum on my first album. When I went platinum, that meant that I went double platinum actually. That meant that I sold 2 million records. Now maybe, who knows? Maybe one person bought 100 copies, but who knows? But for all intents and purposes, then that means that 1 million people at least heard my voice and heard my point of view from a musical standpoint. I've always been of the belief that if you have the opportunity to reach that many people, then you have the obligation to give them something that they need. Now, with music, you can't just give people what they need, because people, first of all, people hate. Most people don't like what they need. People like what they want. So I try to mix it up. I try to give people some of what they wanted, some of what they needed. I try to create this balance. So that's why I came out with the records the way I came out with them. I do some fun shit, try to do some heavy shit, do some fun shit, do some heavy shit. That was my belief. I felt that was my obligation to the listeners, or to my core fan base. I had the obligation to say something that they could use in their life on a daily basis to help them. Not just do some shit that was fun, or do some shit that was funny, or do some shit that was gangster. I had to do some real shit too. So, and a lot of people don't give a fuck. All they do is give people what they want. And if you look at music now, if you look at the world in general, from what I see, the balance is fucked up right now. If there's a such thing as evil, and there's a such thing as good, with this hand being good and this hand being evil, then fucking evils up here and goods. Wait, no. Goods up here and evils outweighing it like a motherfucker. Evil is fucking winning right now. I don't know what y'all see, but from what I see, evil is fucking winning right now. And music is part of that. Music fucking influences people. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. A lot of people try to say, oh, it's not my responsibility to teach your children, or it's not my, what I say don't matter, you know what I'm saying? I say what the fuck I want to say, and blah, 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 blah. That's some bullshit. That's bullshit. What you say, especially if you're as popular as a Eminem or a 50 Cent or a Kendrick Lamar or a Coolio, a Ice Cube, if you're that fucking popular, then what you say has some bearing and some merit. And these children, people's children and grandchildren are fucking listening to what you have to say. And from my point of view, it's your responsibility to give them some of what they need. And that's how I feel about it.
Definitely. Can we go back a little bit into Gangsta's Paradise? You creating that, great body of work, that song there. What was behind the creation? Because I remember back then, it was the East Coast, and I heard you saying in an interview, like, you wasn't from the tri-state area, Philly, New York. That's what they checked for.
Well, you know what? You know what's funny? A lot of people thought that I was from the tri-state area. A lot of people thought I was straight out of New York. But I'm gonna tell you why. There's a reason for that. I was taught hip hop by New Yorkers. My homeboys who introduced me to hip hop, they was from Brownsville, New York. They moved across the street. They moved across the street from me in Compton, California, to come live with their grandmother during the mid 80s. So I heard MC Maniac. I heard Booski. I heard Busy B. I heard the Treacherous Three. I heard Flash and the Five before they became real popular. I was privy to the street MCs and motherfuckers that people don't know nothing about. Even some New Yorkers don't even know nothing about. I was privy to that shit. And that's where I learned how to rap from. I didn't, Sugar Hill Gang was not the record I heard that made me want to be an MC. The record I heard that made the records and the person I heard that made me want to be an MC was Melly Mel. Pump me up, pump me up. Motherfucking Freedom, all that shit, bro. I saw the routines when videotape first came out. I saw those routines on home videotapes from motherfuckers that was privy to that shit. So Eazy-E and NWA wasn't the first thing I heard. That wasn't what made me want to rap. Ice-T, I give Ice-T credit because Ice-T taught me how to be an artist from studying him and being around him. I was fortunate enough to, when I was in the Mad Circle, I went on tour. We opened up for Ice on a Canadian tour. We was out there for about 30 days. And so I studied Ice. I listened to what he said, and I saw how he handled certain questions in certain ways he did shit. So I kind of not necessarily patterned myself after that, but the way I handled the press and the media, just like I did it, just like Ice did it. Exactly that. So, but anyway, people thought I was from the East Coast because of the way I spit and the way I built my rhymes and the way I built my songs. I had a song on my first album called On My Way to Harlem. I'm on my way to Harlem. And motherfuckers, like, my homies was like, man, why would you write a song called On Your Way to Harlem? I said, because the shit is dope. The shit is dope, and it fits. It fits. The track was like a jazz bass track. I mean, it was like, would you say that was not modern jazz? That was like real beat
That was
jazz.
like bebop jazz.
It was like bebop jazz. And I just shit like that, bro. And I always was trying to be more intelligent with my rhyme schemes and with the words that I chose to use. A lot of West Coast artists, and I'm not gonna say no names, but a lot of West Coast artists, especially the early ones, especially the so-called genre of gangster rap, they would, to me, they use the same 5,000 to 10,000 words on every song. You never heard them straight from character. Like I'll say for instance, like a very successful MC from the West Coast, Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is super intelligent, but when he writes songs, you're gonna hear the same 10,000 words. And he does it straight from that because that's his platform. That's how he's been able to be successful. So he sticks with that. And I always try to have a, you got a lot of MCs now. They rap the same, no matter what the track is. Jay-Z, for instance. He got a few styles that he uses. But for the most part, he has that one particular cadence and style that he uses. And when you hear that shit, you know that's Jay-Z. And when Jay-Z starts spitting, you know who that is. Well, I don't know, the way I built myself and the way I was taught was that every song should create a different style. You should rap different on every song. And I made it a point to try to do that. I tried to create a new style on every damn song. Now you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, your Fantastic Voyage, shit like that, where my cadence is pretty much the same. But if you listen to my body of work, most of my songs are different. I've used a different style and a different cadence on every song. Now my tone might have been the same, my pitch or the key. I usually rap in E. I mostly rap in the key of E. So, am I right about that? E is high. Okay. Yeah. E is a little, it's E a little.
E and sometimes F.
E and sometimes F. So that's my voice sounds the best when I rap in that particular key. But other than that, I got some shit right now. When you hear it, you're not even gonna know it's me. You're gonna be like, damn. If I didn't put my name on it, I thought about doing this. Now I'm not even gonna tell y'all because I still might do it. I'm thinking about doing some shit where I'm gonna disguise myself, pitch my voice up a little bit, and rap completely different, and pretend like I'm somebody else, and see what kind of success I can have, and pretend like I'm in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? Do the makeup and shit, the whole get up, and pretend to be someone else. And then when I have success doing that, then take off the disguise and say, look at y'all motherfuckers. It really was me the whole time. Just to show y'all motherfuckers that everything that you think you believe is fucking bullshit. So, and I still might do that. And when I do it, I can tell you I'm gonna do it, but if I do it, you'll never ever know it's me. Because I already did it. I experimented with it a little bit and nobody knew it. It's a record out. I ain't gonna tell you what the record is, but it's a record out right now. That's me. People think it's somebody else. Whole different name, whole different look. People think it's somebody else, but it's really me.
And I got a two-part question for you real quick. First, where did your career go when you were featured on Dangerous Minds? And two, was it true that you didn't want Weird Al Yankovic redoing the Gangsta's
Okay, one. Let's do the Weird Al shit first. Weird Al. The only reason why that happened was because of one reason. They asked me if they could do it, and I said no, and they did it anyway. That was the only reason I had anything to say, which in hindsight, it was stupid. It was one of the less smart things I've done in my career, because shit, he parodied Michael Jackson, he parodied Prince, he parodied all kind of cats that are much more as an artist than I'll ever be, and they didn't say shit. So in hindsight, I shouldn't have said shit. It actually made me look kind of stupid and small, and you know, that's. I'm not gonna say I regret it, but I kind of do. I regret that shit. I should have just let it go. Now, that's why that happened, and yeah, I said no, and they did it anyway, and then so I dissed Weird Al on the song and the whole bullshit, bro. But since then, you know, I let that shit go a long time ago. We talked and, you know, we hung out and shit. I even did a show with him and all that type of shit. So, you know, that was, like I said, everybody made mistakes. Now,
Minds part, Dangerous Minds. Where'd you go after that? Like, what did that do? I remember that movie, you know, back in the day with Michelle Pfeiffer was a big move. So where did that take your career after that?
I had already had some a bit of worldwide success with Fantastic Voyage, but nowhere near the kind of success in the places that Gangsta Paradise took me. It would be easy for me to say it took me to the next level, but it took me to the next fucking 5 levels. I mean, I went from here to off the motherfucking screen, bro. It wasn't even surreal, bro. It was otherworldly. It was the craziest shit that you ever could imagine to happen to somebody in a successful way. Like, I mean, it was crazy, bro. I mean, a whole packed auditoriums and packed fucking stadiums and fucking knowing every word to my song, but that's the only English that they know. Gangsta Paradise being the first rap song that they ever took the time to learn. Gangsta Paradise being the only song that their parents ever let them listen to. Gangsta Paradise being the only rap song the only hip hop song they ever heard on the radio. It was crazy. It was some crazy shit, bro. I'm the first. It's at least 30 countries. I was the very first hip hop artist to ever come there and do a show. Minimum 30 countries. It might be more than that. But talking about places like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Bahrain.
That's too many.
Man, it's Oman. You go on and on and on and on, bro. Fucking Georgia. The Georgia, not Georgia is Georgia. Georgia is a country. In the former Soviet Union. The places. It was some different shit. I remember one time the first time I went to Kazakhstan. I stayed in this hotel, and I had the presidential suite. The presidential suite was one big ass room. It looked like a fucking school auditorium, the way it was built and shaped. It was long, and it wasn't that wide, but it was long as fuck. It took up the whole roof, that was the last floor, and the whole thing was this one big ass room. And it had windows all the way around it. And you stick your head out, if I stuck my head out the window, it was people all the way around that motherfucker. I could see people out of every window. And every time I stuck my head out the window, it was like, ah! Put my head back in. Ah! It was crazy, bro. I mean, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. And then I did a show there. They have 4 television stations. My show was on all 4 of them. The route that I took to drive, we had to drive from the hotel to the stage, which was set up like in the middle of the city. The route was about a 2.5 mile route. It was the whole route, the whole entire route was lined with soldiers. Every fucking inch and foot was lined. Soldiers were probably about 6 to 10 feet apart, but they lined the whole route. And the route that I took to go to my show, people were not allowed to walk down those streets. Some crazy shit. And I remember that show because it started raining a little bit. And the floor was like this fucking vinyl. And me and the 40 Thieves was busting out. I bust my ass about, at least I'm talking about slipping feet going up in the air type shit. Man, busting my ass like about 4 or 5, 6 times. And but the shit was still one of the greatest shows I've ever done. I remember the first time I did the first show I ever did in I did a show in Tel Aviv. I did a show in Tel Aviv in Israel, and I performed on the same stage. They built the stage for Michael Jackson to come perform there. It was in the middle of this park, the biggest park in the city. And I think it was about 30 to 40,000 people at my show. But they built the stage for Michael Jackson. It was so fucking big that they just left it. They never took it down. So I ended up performing on it. And this is a crazy story. So I walk out on stage. There was this, at that time, I was doing this intro song. I did this intro song, it might have been 2 minutes and 21 seconds of funk. That was on my first album. A tisk and a task, that's all your ass get. Snap the CD and drop the pieces in your casket. That's how it started. So I walked out on the stage, and at the end of that song, the intro to Fantastic Voyage started to come on. We had a little intro before that. I was hyping the crowd up. All of a sudden, now it's about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Motherfuckers is passing out, catching heat stroke. I mean, it was pandemonium, bro. But right as I started to do Fantastic Voyage, boom! It was a clap of fucking thunder, bro. I'm talking about a clap of thunder, lightning way in back of the crowd somewhere. A bolt of lightning came down and struck the ground, and the fucking sky darkened. The sky darkened, bro. It became overcast, and the temperature dropped about 30 degrees, 40 degrees. It dropped down to about 80. And a water main broke in the middle of the crowd and shot water about fucking 30 to 40 feet up in the air. Within seconds, there was a 4-foot pool of water, 3 or 4 foot pool of water in the middle of the crowd. And motherfuckers started going crazy, bro. They was just throwing the water, and basically saved lives, bro, because motherfuckers probably could have died out there. It was so hot and so packed. And motherfuckers started going crazy. And for the remainder of my show, it stayed that way. And when I got to the last song, and I don't remember what was the last song I was doing at that time. It was whatever single I was promoting. It was close to the end. I don't even know. But whatever the last song was, as I went into the first verse of the last song, sky opened back up, sun came back out, temperature went back up, and then my show was over. And I walked off the stage. But when it happened, I missed the first verse of Fantastic Voyage because it fucked me up, and I was like, and I looked up at the sky and I said, And I mouth thank you to the sky. The shit was crazy, bro. I like that was some otherworldly shit like that. You know, most motherfuckers that'll give a motherfucker a big head. That'll make a motherfucker think he the shit. And you know, maybe at that time I probably did. I probably thought I was the shit at that time, boy. I never, you know, yeah, that shit was crazy. And I was and you know, I'm in the so-called, the quote-unquote holy city in Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? I done walked the Christ path earlier that day, and man, all kind of shit. It was went to the Wailing Wall, watched motherfuckers pray at the Wailing Wall. I took my little note and put it in the Wailing Wall shit, and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that type shit, bro. That type shit. That's what I'm talking about. That going to fucking Romania for the first time. We land in one airport, get off the plane, and then we go get on this fucking helicopter, which was gold plated. Everything inside that motherfucker was gold plated, like some dope dealer nigga inside of his Benz or some shit. Gold plated motherfucking knobs and armrests and we was on the motherfucking helicopter smoking weed and shit. And then the helicopter take off and flies into the interior of Romania. And as we coming down for it, well, when we first was landed in the plane, I think it was a KLM flight, it was a KLM flight, or it might have been Romanian Air, as a matter of fact. As we coming down, I see a motherfucking stray dog running across the runway. And I look down and there's potholes in the motherfucking runway and shit. Crazy as fuck. Yeah. Then we get off the helicopter and we in a car and we drive out and it's a motherfucking flock of sheep blocking the road and shit. And then the driver looks back and says, hey, right here is where they killed dictator. Right here in the street, right here, they kill him, the people kill him in the street, right here, right in this very spot. And I'm like, damn. Yeah, so, that type of shit.
I want to talk about Fantastic Voyage, and that was probably one of the first, that 1, 2, 3, 4. I know I heard you right before Gangsta Paradise, obviously, but did you ever, how did the royalty and clearances on this? I know that was a sample.
Well, Fantastic Voyage, man, Fantastic Voyage was a fucking clusterfuck in the trap. It was, you know, Tommy Boy fucked up on that. The publishing was owned by this cat named Dick Griffey, who owned Solar Records at that time. And that was the label that Lakeside was signed to. Of course, he stole their fucking publishing, so he owned 100% of the publishing rights to that song, and Tommy Boy didn't clear it. So DJ Lionel got fucked. He didn't make a dime off Fantastic Voyage. It was his first platinum record, his first platinum single, and he didn't make a penny off that shit because Dick Griffey took 99. He might have got 1%. Because Dick Griffey took 99% of the publishing. And he had all rights too because they didn't clear it. I made the mechanical royalties. I think I gave him some of my mechanicals, but I got all the writers credit for it because I wrote it. And yeah, but it was, yeah. But at the same time, it drove the rest of my album to go double platinum. And I toured with my first tour was with R. Kelly on the Budweiser Superfest. It was R. Kelly, Warren G, Heavy D, and somebody else. It was different cats, but the main four was me, Warren G, R. Kelly, and Heavy D.
What was that conversation like when you found out that you and your producer get fucked over publishing with Gangsta? I get Fantastic Voice.
Well, we didn't find out until we saw the royalty statements for the record, which was probably a year later. And Wino brought it to my attention. He was pissed. He was mad. He wanted to slap the shit out of somebody. He wanted to fight. And I did too, because that's my homie. Mm-hmm. So we was quite upset about that, and it was a big fuss, and we made a big fuss about it. And they promised it would never happen again, and blah, blah, blah. And, I think they gave up a little bit of money, maybe about 20,000 or whatever. Something like that to try to appease us, but yeah, how record companies have not changed since that time. They still all about fuckery, and the artist gets the person who works the hardest, which is the artist, gets the least amount of monies. A platinum record, going platinum one time, generates anywhere from 18 to $30 million. That's about the price. That's about the range.
18, 30 million?
18 to 30 million. We're going platinum once. That's 1 million records sold at that time. Because records was at that time about $15.99 to $17.99 for an album. So it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then you count in airplay on the radio. You count in different licenses and other things, and it's a lot of money involved. And the artist is lucky if they get $1 million.
18 to 30 million made, and the artist, the one that promotes it, pushes it through all the lifeblood of it, gets under.
Yeah, it's
Lucky.
absolute fuckery.
Lucky if they get that.
They lucky if they get $1 million. They lucky. I was fortunate. I had a good lawyer, and we held out, and we went back and forth. So I got a good amount of points on that record, and it's not really. Usually when you get your first record deal, it's about the second album. That's where you have the opportunity to make some money, and then really, it's the third album where you make your real money. Now, check this shit out. So me, Naughty by Nature, Digital Underground, House of Pain. Those are the four, and then of course Queen Latifah were all signed to Tommy Boy. At that time they had the lawyer for Tommy Boy, his name was Dan Hoffman, and he wrote all the contracts. And this is shit I found out later. He was a dumbass. He wrote all the contracts the same. Everybody had the same standard contract. Your first album, you got X amount of dollars. If you went platinum, according to the point structure and the way they set it up, your album budget for your next project became anywhere from $300,000 to $1 million. On your third album, if you went platinum or more, your album the ceiling was $3 million. That was the max you could get on your third album for a budget. And now, so with that being said, what's the name of Digital Underground's third album? What's the name of De La Soul's third album? What's the name of my third album? What's the name of Naughty by Nature's third album? You feel me? But you know the name of the first two? Bet. Easy. So now, for some reason, all the aforementioned names, including myself, did not go platinum on our third album. Oh, I take that back. Hold on. The ceiling on the third album was $7 million. It was $3 to $7 million was the ceiling.
Okay.
At that time, fucking record companies was not giving motherfuckers that kind of money, bro. They was not doing it. And I believe that they sabotaged our third albums. Bro, I just came off Gangsta Paradise. How the fuck did I not go gold instantly?
Yeah.
Instantly. You understand? How the fuck did I not go platinum within the first fucking 30 days? That's almost, and it was a good record. It was my best body of work at that time as a collective. I didn't have that breakout single the way I did on the first two, but as a body of work, that motherfucker was solid. I had 8 singles easy on that album, but you don't even know the name of it. So, yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing, you know. De La too.
Tommy Boy, you know.
Yeah, and I don't think it was, and I can't say that it was Tom Silverman himself that planned it that way, but I'm sure that the legal team at Tommy Boy, they fucking did. I'm sure they did. So, and that's why they're the Reds. And you know, I'm still, you know, I still give props to Tommy Boy for giving me the opportunity to be heard. You know what I'm saying, and giving me the platform to become a platinum artist. You know, so I'm not mad at them. At the time, now we get into the second single of my third album, and I have a meeting at Tommy Boy, and they tell me, maybe you should start working on your fourth album. Like, what the fuck you mean? You ain't even finished with we not finished with the third one yet. We need to put out another single. Let's put this song out. They didn't want to. And at that time, I believed I knew why, because I studied the contract. So I was pissed. I was ready to fight. I was ready to do whatever. I was ready to do something to somebody. I was ignorant. I got real ignorant at that time, and I was acting a motherfucking fool. I was banned from Tommy Boy at that time. They had a no let Coolio in policy. I was disguising myself as the pizza man and all kind of shit at that time, trying to get in that motherfucker. You know, Tommy Boy was the only building in New York that had a 13th floor. And that Tommy Boy was on the 13th floor. A lot of people don't know that. Anyway, so yeah. Trivia.
Tupac, man. Talk about your relationship with Tupac, the chord you made.
Pac was for me, when you met Pac, instantly when you met him, you knew he was a different type of cat. He was very outspoken and convicted, and he really gave a fuck about the music, and he wanted to make a difference in people's lives and shit, like. But he once he went to jail, they put that rape charge on him, and then he found out he was broke, and all the shit that happened to him, it changed him. When he got with Death Row, he became a different person. He wasn't the same dude no more. You know, he started smoking and drinking a lot, and you know, shit that tripped me out. He started gangbanging. He started gangbanging in his mid-20s. Pac was from the Bay Area. All of a sudden, he claiming Mob Pyru. You know what I'm saying? And that shit just, and he's actively gangbanging on people. Blood motherfuckers like, what's up, blood? Well, I'm just banging this mob. Well, just like, and that shit tripped me out. Because that's usually the time when motherfuckers, if they're going to get out of gangbanging, that's when they try to get out of it around that time. And so it just, you know, it was weird for me to talk to Pac after that, because he became a different person. It was like I was talking to two different people from in a 2-year span. He went from here to here, and just, I don't know, man.
You think that was influences?
Of course.
Why do you think that happened?
Of course, when he started hanging around Suge and hanging around the whole Death Row crew, minus Snoop and Dre, because they had left at that point. And I think he kind of did it to fit into the crowd that he was in. He kind of, I think maybe he felt like he had to be like that in order to survive it. I mean, I don't know. I can't sit here and tell you exactly what he was thinking, but I know I was speaking to him about that. He used to be, I always hung around Tretch. So, you know, when Tretch came to LA or came to the West Coast, you know, I would pop up, I would pull up on him and go hang out. And usually Pop would, at some point, would either be there or he would show up too. So all three of us, we'd be in Stretch's room, playing each other's new shit. You know, talking about hip hop and spitting rhymes and freestyling and drinking and smoking and having a good time. You know what I'm saying? And trying to fuck with some hoes. You know, that's what we was doing at that time. You know, and we was chilling.
And he was on the road with you on his first tour.
Pop? Nah, not Pop. Not Pop.
Yes, he was. He was on the road with
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. And then when Pop was with Digital Underground, I used to see Pop all the time. I didn't really know who he was at the time. This was before he put out his first record, before he got signed. But anyway, yeah, he was. I used to try to talk to Pop. When he started getting in trouble and shit. This is before I started getting in trouble. Obviously, I started getting in trouble. I couldn't say shit. But I used to be like, man, Pop, why you doing this and why you doing that? And he was like, man, I'm a grown ass man, Coolio. Man, fuck that, man. Let me live my life. Man, don't worry about what I'm doing. But I was like, I couldn't say shit because it was true. He was a grown ass man. So I just let it go. And Chet would say, man, let it go, Coolio, man. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone, son. Like, I just left it alone. And Spot would be like, man, quit trying to lecture me, man. Just because you're older than me. You know, that type of shit. You know, so it was yeah. And I,
So,
go ahead.
Your old manager,
Paul Stewart, solid cat, bro. 100, you know, can't say nothing bad about him. If it wasn't for him, I would have never got signed because the same demo that he shot and got me a deal with, I shot it myself and nobody would touch me. I was getting those form letters saying we don't take unsolicited material. Nobody would touch me. And he took the same records, the same demo, shot it and got me. I had 4 offers within 3 weeks. I had an offer from Jive, Polygram, Jive, Tommy Boy, and I want to say it was an East Coast label. Who was that label that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde used to be on?
shit.
Whatever that label was, they made me an offer too. But I ended up going with Tommy Boy because, and they all offered me a single deal. They didn't offer me an album deal. They offered me a single deal. And Tommy Boy offered me a single deal based upon Niggas Be Fucking With, a song I had called Ugly Bitches, which was originally titled Niggas Be Fucking With Ugly Bitches. And they offered me a deal based upon that as a single. And they gave me $25,000, and I took that $25,000 and I did like 8 songs in the studio. And they was like, damn. So we gave them 5 or 6 of them. They was like, damn. Well, fuck it. They gave me another $50,000 and told me to do an EP. And so with that money, I pretty much finished the album. And I gave them like 8 to 10 songs. And they was like, damn. You got some good shit right here, fuck it. And they gave me another $50,000 and said, fuck that, go ahead and do your album. And it went from a single deal to an album deal. And then, Paul was right there all the way, man. He did right by me, bro. He didn't, he never stole from me. He never, did no backdoor shit. He never put me in those situations where I didn't know what was going on. He was solid, bro. He got Montel Jordan his first deal, Farside their first deal. He got Warren G his first deal. Man, he did a lot for the culture, bro. He did a lot for people. But little Jewish cat, man, from LA, straight out LA, bro. Grew up and hung around hood motherfuckers, but never did no hood shit. Was always just he was a DJ. Huh?
Yeah, we got him on a couple weeks ago. He was talking a little bit of that.
Yeah, Paul is good people, man. And I switched managers in the middle of the shit, and that was a mistake. That was one of the fucking dumbest things I ever did. Dude, yeah, he should have stayed my manager. My career probably would have went a little bit, probably would have went a little better.
Yeah, man, definitely appreciate you, man. Got an hour and 20 minutes in with Coolio.
Shaka Zulu, man.
Great interview, man. Appreciate that.
No problem, man. Anytime, man. Y'all want to talk, bro? I see y'all be talking to the fat nigga a lot. Faison. Oh, fat black ass shit talking motherfucker. Talking about people and shit. Man, that motherfucker, man, he be saying some shit. I don't understand where he's coming from, bro. He be talking about shit that he don't, I swear, I bet you he don't even know. He be making up shit, bro. Y'all need to stop using him he's not a credible source, bro. I don't believe he's a credible source. I don't have a problem with him, but I'm not afraid to speak my mind, and if I see him, he ain't gonna do shit. Cause he know not to fuck with me, and not to say shit, not to stop me. Yeah, but he need to stop talking about shit that he don't know about, bro. He's causing friction between people and making. I don't know. I don't understand what he's doing. I don't get it, bro. Because motherfuckers like him. I always like Faison. But I used to try to bag on him all the time. He used to bag on me. And then away from Compton, what's his name? Used to call me Taco Meat. He used to say my hair looked like a bunch of taco meat and shit. The dude from Compton, come on, he played Ezell in Fridays. That's a funny motherfucker, boy. That was the OG comedian from Compton right there. Anthony Johnson. That motherfucker is hilarious, bro. His career didn't go like I thought it would. I thought he would get more problems. But I think he probably never hired writers. He probably should have hired some writers, and his career probably would have went a lot better. But he's a funny motherfucker when it comes to bagging, though. I used to bag on him. I used to hang with him sometime, and then sometime he just destroyed me. I couldn't, he had too much. He got too much. He was too much for me, and I ended up shutting up and telling him. And then I get mad. I said, man, shut the fuck up, cuz. But stop, man. It's enough. That's enough, cuz. That's enough. You know what I'm saying? And Faison, I used to try to bag on him, and he funny too. He used to have jokes. I haven't heard him do no stand up in a long time. But
You still on the road doing this thing? I think I don't know how COVID stuff, but maybe we both get on one time.
man, we get on and bag on each other, and because I know when he see the interview, he's gonna be like, fuck that nigga Coolio, man, you shouldn't have done that. Fuck your fat ass, you fat Eminem looking motherfucker.
We got Coolio on the field. Definitely appreciate you. Drop your social media handles.
Salute.
Everything at Coolio.
Oh, yo, everything at Coolio, everything. Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. I'm on Clubhouse, too. I'll be on Clubhouse and shit. Y'all on Clubhouse yet?
I heard of it, ain't doing it though.
You gotta get on that shit. You gotta get an invite. So just find out somebody that's, and I would invite you, but I already used my invite, so. But you gotta be invited, and the shit is real progressive, my brother. It's motherfuckers be on there talking about some real things and doing some real serious networking, bro. Real serious networking, and I think it's good for the culture. And it's good for us as a people as well. And then I got hold on, bro. Hey, wait, hold up. I'm putting out a new single every 60 days in 2021. Every 60 days, I'm putting out a new single. The first one we're gonna drop at the beginning of February, and then every 60 days after that, we're gonna drop a new one. And some of those months we're gonna drop one every 30 days. It depends on how good shit sounds. Right now, I got my shit is good enough to drop a single every 60 days. And shouts out to DJ Wino, shouts out to J Red, shouts out to Mimi and my son AI. And actually I You might see some more shit. Oh, check my son out, Pharaoh Santana. My son's name is Pharaoh Santana. All spelled out. Check out his new shit. He got a new single out and a video called Playboy. And also his first single, well, his first major single was called damn, he'll be mad as fuck at me if you know I can remember. Oh, here it is. Moonlight. In the moon, I'm smoking OG in the moonlight. I'm just trying to get my moon. Yeah, all three of my sons do music. They dope as fuck. Be looking for my son, AI the Great, aka Sour the Prophet, aka Ivy the Prophet. We're gonna put this shit out real soon. But right now on YouTube, you go check my son. Check out me. I got a song with me, Tretch, and my homeboy Estrados. It's called We Got the Power. Check that shit out. Y'all think you'll like it. Plug that shit, man. Play, man. Tell my folks listen to my shit, get my views up there. You know, east side, west side, north side, south side, worldwide. I'm Coolio with the flow, the neighborhood ghetto is like superhero. Down to go toe to toe with he ain't Frankie Joe. Representing Compton. Peace out.
We are, brother.
All right, cool. So my number is 213. 213.
Hold on.